Do you know why most new programmers fail within their first year? It's not because they lack talent or resources, it's because they are not doing these 4 things. I was struggling with coding for months and I was about to quit until I discovered these 4 steps that completely changed my approach. And this is not just some generic advice. What I'm about to share with you is something that I have tried out in this exact order and it worked. I've also recommended the same 4 things to anyone that asks, how can I do this coding thing right? I'm like, do these 4 things and thank me later. At the end of this video, I'll also be sharing my time frame and how long it took me to complete each phase. Trust me, you'll be shocked. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining for the first time, my name is Levi. I'm a software developer and I make videos about tech and lifestyle. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing. The first step to mastering software development is understanding the fundamentals of programming. Listen, you cannot make progress if you don't understand the fundamentals. I literally cannot stress this enough. I understand, programming is exciting. You're tempted to start learning that new framework and building crazy projects. Don't be too quick to start jumping into complex frameworks or start building complex projects without you understanding the fundamentals of programming. You're just calling for frustration. For me, when I was learning to code, learning the fundamentals was very difficult for me. It was really difficult for me to understand the concepts of control statements, but looking back, that was actually the easiest part of my journey. Why? Because every advanced concept in programming builds on the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals, you're asking? I'm talking about your variables, basic syntax, data structures and algorithm, control statements, loops, functional programming, debugging, Git and GitHub. These are the fundamentals you need to understand to master programming. Notice how I said understand and not know. There is a huge difference between knowing something and understanding something. Please don't get this wrong. For example, you might know how to write a for loop, but do you understand the intricacies behind running a for loop? Do you understand when to use a specific loop over the other? These are the things you will understand when you take your time and learn your fundamentals. When it comes to learning the fundamentals, don't put yourself on a time crunch. I know there are videos out there that says how to master coding in 1 week. Ignore those videos. Take as much time as you need and understand your fundamentals. Now you have your fundamentals taken care of, cool, calm, collected. On to the next one. When you hear the term software engineering, imagine it as a large umbrella that encompasses various areas of technology. There is mobile development, web development, cloud computing, embedded systems, DevOps. Every software engineer specializes on one thing, or sometimes 2, but that one thing is what they swear by. That one thing is the only thing they can do with their eyes closed. That is what they specialize in. You've gotten your fundamentals right, now it's time for you to look for something to specialize in. There are 2 ways to go from here and there are no wrong choices. You can either follow your passion or follow the industry demands. Both ways are very much valid. But I would say only one increases your chances of being hired like ASAP. You already know what I'm talking about. The whole idea behind specializing on one thing is so that you're channeling all your energy on learning only that one thing. If you choose to specialize in web development, it means you're going all in into learning JavaScript, React, Python, APIs, and all the web development nitty-gritty. I just can't stress this enough. It's very important you specialize in one thing. Some of the best engineers I've ever come across in my life are all specialists instead of generalists. For me, in case you're wondering, I specialize in mostly back-end operations for both mobile apps and web applications. You've mastered your fundamentals and you've chosen what you want to specialize in. Now it's time for you to practice. In my opinion, this is the most crucial stage in mastering anything, not just programming. We've all heard that saying, practice makes what? Perfect. You need to practice. You need to build those projects. I understand it can be hard sometimes to come up with project ideas, but one way I'm able to come up with project ideas, and this applies to people who are mostly interested in web development or app development. Go to Dribbble.com. This is a website where UI UX designers showcase their projects. Just scroll through and look for any projects you like and develop it. My most recent project, Scribblo, was an idea from Behance.com, which is similar to Dribbble. By the way, go check out Scribblo. I'm going to leave a link to the project in the description. Also, I've made the code repository public so you can go fork it from my GitHub profile. If you're doing something outside of web development or mobile development, try to work on projects that solve a problem in your daily life. It doesn't matter if there's already a solution out there. Copy that solution and make it better. Always make sure your project is solving some kind of problem. That's what potential employers really care about in your project. They don't really care about the fancy animations or pictures. What problem are you solving? My most recent project, Scribblo, solves two major problems in my opinion. It runs a passwordless authentication system, so signing up and signing in is a breeze. That might seem like a very common practice, but look around and see how many applications you use on a daily basis and how many utilize a passwordless authentication system. Very few. Secondly, the article recommendation algorithm was built in a way I feel all social media recommendation algorithms should work. Interest and relevance. Those are the two most important things that matters when you're building a recommendation algorithm. And that's exactly why I implemented it in my project. So that right there is solving a problem. And honestly, I don't want to go into much technicality on how the code works, but if that's something you're interested in, please let me know in the comments. That was a very challenging project for me to work on, and I was really exposed to new concepts and technologies that I have never heard about before, and now I can implement that at any time, any day. And that is why it's important for you to build more projects. You will always learn something new in every project you build. The final icing on the cake: teach. I know this doesn't seem very obvious to you, but teaching is the secret sauce to this whole recipe. See, when you learn something, you practice that thing, you keep doing that thing over and over again, your brain notices the pattern and you develop muscle memory for that thing. But now, when you take it a step further to constantly tell or explain that thing to someone, it reinforces your own understanding. And this is because teaching requires you to organize your knowledge and find effective ways to communicate it, and also address any gaps in your understanding. You can start doing this by explaining what you've learned to your friends or to your followers. You can do this in form of videos or writing articles. Most of my videos here on YouTube and social media is me basically reinforcing everything I've learned by teaching it back to you guys. All I can say is do not underestimate the power of teaching. I promise to share how long it took me to complete each phase, and I want to emphasize that there is no need to rush. It's quite the opposite actually. It took me a solid year to fully understand the fundamentals of programming and another year and a half to specialize in web development. I've been practicing ever since and I'm still on my journey to perfection. The key takeaway here is for you to move at your own pace. For some people, mastering the fundamentals of programming might take them a year like it did for me, but for some others it could take them 6 months or even 3 months. What matters is that you're progressing at a pace that works best for you. I really hope you guys found value in this, and I understand that mastering programming takes time, but I promise if you follow these exact steps in the order it was listed, you're definitely going to see results. Please make sure you like and share this video to your software developer friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications. I'm actually on a quest to get to 1,000 subscribers very soon, so please do your part by subscribing. It's definitely going to go a long way for me. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in my next video.